hear me?
Hello, my man. How are you?
Hello. I'm brilliant.
Are you saying that through gritted teeth?
Yeah.
So, this is end of day 2 update on the Monarch's Way Ultra with
What a day!
Lee-stuart Evans. You do remember that's still your name. I think it's important just to reiterate this at the start of these updates, just to make sure that one, the audience knows who you are, and two, you remember who you are, because I'm at, how many miles have you covered so far?
Some. I'm about 90 miles now in total.
Right.
So I've got 12 miles to go to get back to Boscobel tonight,
Yeah.
which is really tough terrain. It's going to take me about 3 or 4 hours. I'm working my way through fields. If I'm out of breath, it's not because I'm overexcited. It's because I'm working my way through very overgrown fields.
Oh, really?
And the best you can do is about 2 miles an hour. It's fields up to your sort of knees, and it's very uneven. This is going to be the moany one. This is going to. Let's just do. Should we just do moaning? Can I just do moaning?
Well, no, just
today?
do moaning. I mean, this has to.
Yeah.
Right, so if you are a pacer for someone doing 100 miler, what we're going to talk about in the next 15 minutes is pretty much what you have to put up with as a pacer for about 10 hours. So it's a good insight into being a pacer for someone doing 100 miler. Well, the last time I did 100 miler possibly, but yeah. So go on. Last time we left you, we were about to go into the first checkpoint. So go on.
Yeah.
Take it. Tell the story from there. So how long were you in there for? What happened,
I
etc.
went to bed, then you put it on a tent up for me.
Yeah.
I got it wrong, really. I thought being in the tent I'd be warmer, and I wasn't. I was colder. So I woke up in the night quite cold, and then I got up at 5:30. Well, I got up at 5, popped some blisters, had some breakfast, and got cracking at 5:30.
So you got
Been
5 hours sleep.
Yeah. What time did I get to the CP? Midnight.
Yeah, I think it was just before midnight.
I think so. Yeah, so 5 hours sleep. Glorious.
Nice.
Yeah. What a day today, though, eh? Wow.
More drama.
Yesterday was good, but today just stepped up. And the message we had yesterday was very much to do with the fact that, what are these spine racers going to do to bamboozle me? So who would have thought that their masterstroke today was to shock and awe me by doing 37 miles in the wrong direction? No one saw that coming.
No one expects the spine racers to go in the right direction. I think that's the new Monty Python style Spanish Inquisition. No one expects the spine racers to go in the right direction. I love that.
Bless them.
I know, but
I love it. Yeah, I think it's mind games, Jodie. I think they're perfectly capable. I think they're so good at running. Okay, they are mind gamesing me by saying, yeah, we'll do whatever we fancy on the course, really. We're still going to kick your ass. They're freestyling. They're not even following the route. They're just saying, we'll just go over here, see what's over here for a bit. It's amazing.
Yeah. So just before we get to the bit, so that happened from the point of Boscobel House. So Boscobel House was that the second CP? Is that right?
It is. It's a bit confusing because there's a loop. So there's a loop that's in total about 37 miles, which includes a mini loop on the loop to add to the confusion. And in fact, I've had a bit of a light bulb moment today, and I thought back to some of the stuff Paul Alley said in his blog last year, and it's dawned on me that I think 2 of the runners last year also did the loop in the wrong direction.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
So there's form for that, is there? Right.
Well, we're in uncharted territory here.
You're not really. You're in charted territory. Surely there should be a ruling on this or not. But I suppose from the race director point of view, there's no advantage or disadvantage. You're still covering the same distance.
Correct. And actually, as the day wore on, I began to understand. I met up with Lindley later on at the checkpoint, and actually, um, what you've got to remember with these sort of races is poor old Lindley is also supporting multiple runners. Now, the spline races could turn up at any moment, without warning, and I poot around all day and show up at sort of midnight, 1 a.m. So, as well as me not getting a lot of sleep, when you're supporting or being the race director of a 2-week race, you're also under quite a lot of strain. So what happened was earlier in the day, I think Al and Chris got to the bit of the loop where it splits off and you can go left or right, and rather than consult the guidebook or give it some thought, I think they phoned Lindley and said, which way do we go? And Lindley made a little mistake and he should have said the big loop is anti-clockwise and the small loop's clockwise, and he just blurted out the wrong way round.
Oh, okay.
And so off they went in the wrong direction, which, if you're out here seeing, I mean, this is basically just, we've got Lindley plus Maxine supporting us at the moment. A guy called Brian turns up this evening, plus the 3 runners. This is just 6 people playing a sleep deprivation game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you know what?
And the race director's going mad. Everybody's losing the plot. And it's not something you think about. But, when you think about Nicky Griffin and James Nelson doing a Centurion, they pace up and down for 30 hours with flipboards, getting hardly any sleep, worrying about all the runners. Imagine organising a 2-week race.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's mad. I mean, it's bonkers.
So what's the terrain been like today? So give us a picture of you're obviously now you're saying that you're going through some awful fieldy bike. The thing is, this is the thing. You look at the maps and everywhere looks really built up. It looks like you would look like when we're looking on the OS thing, we zoom in everything. It looks like you're running mainly on like roads or pavement or something like that because there's a lot of built-up areas. And I take it that is a total misconception.
Yeah, I've hardly been in towns at all today.
Oh, really?
I've been properly scrumping water, having to knock on doors and ask people for water. And of course, they ask you where you're going on your bicycle, and you say, "Oh, I'm walking," and they go, "Where?" And you go, Brighton, and they basically are slowly dialing the police while they're filling up your water bottles. So yeah, the terrain's just been ridiculously varied. We've also had it's kind of notorious. We've had the notorious it's called the golf course bit on the mini loop, which is completely unfathomable. The only person that's ever done it is me, properly.
Yeah.
And it was basically like a Barkley Marathon's training half hour. You just push yourself through overgrown areas. It's ridiculous. But there's a blog last year where Paul Alley basically said he lost his mind on this golf course, trying to understand how to get through it. So, yeah, the terrain is ridiculously varied. It's ridiculously hard on the feet. It's just, you get good days. The phrase isn't there? If at some time during an ultra you feel good, don't worry, it'll pass.
Yeah.
And I think with a 600-mile race, instead of having a low hour, you can have a low day. I've kind of been through the 7. What do they call the 7 stages of depression or whatever it is today? I've been through denial. Well, it'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? Acceptance. Oh, Jesus Christ, Brighton's a long way away. I don't even know what the other ones are. I'm too tired. Envy is one of them.
The thing is, what I love about this is that you really don't want to be thinking about Brighton at this stage. You want to be thinking about the next. You want to be thinking about the next place you're going. But the thing is, the places where you're running are so shit that's even more depressing.
Well, the most depressing thing about today is I left Boscobel this morning. No, I didn't. I left Boscobel at lunchtime. I left Boscobel at lunchtime and I farted around through the countryside all day to get to Boscobel tonight at 1 a.m. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's pretty depressing. So, today, what's the weather been like today? Has it been better?
Weather's been lovely. I'm pretty convinced I've got sunstroke.
Oh, fucking
So I've crossed the deserts of Morocco, but it was only Telford that beat me when it came to dehydration and sunstroke. I've been drinking water all day, and I've got a raging headache, and it won't go away.
oh no.
Yeah, and I'm weeing all the time, and and then you go through the ultra checklist, don't you? So
Yeah.
smash
So
some
yeah.
sugar
So how are your feet holding up? How's your body holding up?
How's my feet holding up? The day one, my feet got wet, horribly wet all day. And as a result, I just couldn't keep my feet dry, even with waterproof boots and stuff. So my two little toes took a pasting, and they've basically done that giant toe explosion thing. And so that's it. That's it. I'm just going to have exploded toes now for 2 weeks, which is it's basically part of my routine now. Is every 2 or 3 hours I stop, change my socks, stick pins in the blisters, drain the fluid out. Maybe that's why I've got the headache. I'm losing too much fluid through my blisters.
Oh my god.
This is what's happening. It's all new things. So yeah, so my feet, they're not brilliant, but they're not horrendous. But they're not brilliant. But yeah, you know, with ultras, you'll know this, Jodie. Sometimes you get a headache and you don't know why. Sometimes you get grumpy. You can usually mend most things with sugar, salt, caffeine, or water.
Yeah.
And I've thrown everything at it. You know, everything I've learned from the desert. You know, putting salt, lots of salt, and it's just not made any difference at all. So maybe just if I get some sleep, I'll be all right. It's hard to tell, really.
The thing is, we can tell. I can say so. Yeah, we can tell that you are in a difficult place, both mentally and physically. Because on the Bad Boy Running podcast group, Facebook group, someone suggested a beer to you, and you said that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that. I mean, that's got to be my all-time low ever, hasn't it?
That's unbelievable. What?
I feel dirty just thinking about it. You know, it's bad enough that I had a poo issue this morning that was worrying. I got caught this morning. You know when you're like, I need to go to the toilet, and then you're like, I now need to go to the toilet in the next hour, and then you're like, I now need to go to the toilet in the next few minutes. And I was on this canal path with fences on both sides and nowhere to go, and fishermen everywhere. And suddenly I went from, I need to go in the next 10 minutes to, I am now going. And for the first time in this race, Jodie, I was doing 10-minute miles. Because of the tracker I've got on, I'd expect Lindley to have called me saying, is everything okay? You've just suddenly doubled your speed. But I was trying to run out of sight, but every corner I went round was another bloody fisherman. So in the end, I did what James Mowbray knows as day 5 behaviour. I just went in a bush in front of a fisherman and just looked at him like, what are you going to do, pal? So when we were out on the MDS, you probably know this, Jodie, by day 5, you know, day 1, you come off the trail to have a discreet wee. You know, day 2, you're less keen. By day 5, you're pissing on the trail, you're shitting in front of women. You don't care. You're tired. You got people looking at you going, did he just do that? You know. So,
but the difference is though, is on the MDS, you're all in the same boat. When you're running through the centre of Birmingham doing that, then the norms of behaviour are still upheld generally. I
know. I feel terrible. There's a runner coming past me.
So
hello. Yeah.
How has anyone met you on the course or anything today? Have you had any do-badders, any other people that have come along to see your progress?
No, the do-badders very much have a Sunday off because obviously Sunday is the day for Alka-Seltzer and Plop Plop Fizz for most do-badders because they've usually overexerted themselves at Park Run. But I've had two people come and meet me, which is brilliant. I was just near Tough Guy, and the queue's still there, by the way, still there for the Killing Fish.
You're still going to say it every time.
It is though. You can see it. I went right past the slalom bit. There's still people going up and down that. And there was a woman there, and she's the warden, quote unquote. So they break the Monarch's Way up into 50-mile stretches.
Yeah.
And she's responsible for, the white picket fences and putting the signs up and make it all look lovely. So she was there waiting. She was quite excited, taking pictures of me, and it's very strange.
Are you like you're the first people to come through it, aren't you, for a decade or something, surely?
So what was funnier was she said to me, she was the one that broke the news that perhaps the spine racers were doing mind games, because she said, what was it she said to me? She said something like, I'm not sure I understand what's going on, because two of your runners seem to be doing it clockwise, and you're doing it right anti-clockwise. She sort of said to me, are you guys just sort of covering all the bases, or? And I didn't really know what she was talking about, but then she sort of said, I was going to go and see the other guys too. She said, but I couldn't understand why they were moving away from me when they should have been moving towards me. That's when it dawned on me that Alan and Chris might have made a minor navigational error.
So what was it like? So you obviously crossed paths with them.
Yeah, it was amazing. And because of the GPS tracker, I could basically, see them coming until we were, because, we were closing at a massive speed. They're doing 3 miles an hour towards me. I'm doing 3 miles an hour towards them. So, we're smashing towards each other. And it's like watching icebergs collide.
It's like a Zamboni machine run over someone. Yeah, that's it.
So, bless us. So, yeah, they came around the corner, and I did that quick bit of video for the Facebook, because I never thought on this race I'd be high-fiving the other two runners as they went past me in the other direction.
What? Do you know, but this is like, so you've experienced probably a first here, in the sense that you never expected to see them again.
No, I know. And I told you, those bastard spine racers, they messed with your head. Yeah, and that's what they've done. They're messing with my head. It's staggering. It really is.
The funny thing is, we've been talking about this. I've been looking up the spine race, and the sort of challenges and stuff, and saying, well, what's prepared them for this? And I started going, I could do this. And I was going, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do the spine race? Awful.
The thing is one of the guys with us, Chris. It's kind of it's just a known thing. He cannot navigate. So Chris is incapable of running in a straight line, let alone following a trail. So how on earth he's finished a spine race through the Pennine Way in January in bad weather, I just don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. But
but has he told you that? Wait, again, this is all mind games. He told you that he can't navigate.
Oh, yeah, no, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, that's it. He obviously can. Well, that's it. Don't ever listen to what they say. Look at their behaviour. That's the key.
They're smacking, aren't they? Damn it.
They're giving you smack.
Every time. You see, what I was assuming was that Chris has basically tacked himself to Alan, because Alan has to do the nav.
Oh, but this is what you don't know. This is what you don't realise. They are camel-toed together.
Ooh.
They took it off really quickly before you came around the corner. They are camel-toed together, and they are smashing the caffeine bullet every time.
Can I tell you that, given the state of the undergrowth in this trail, a camel toe would get you killed within an hour. Would die. And given my situation this morning on the canal, I don't think caffeine bullet would be a particularly good idea either.
I like the fact that you were caught short on a canal. That's always a good place to be exposing yourself. Always a good place.
There's nothing better than your lycra leggings down around your ankles in a canal in, I don't even know where. Green Forges or something.
So you're coming up in the next few hours to. So CP2 is also CP3.
It's not. No.
Oh, is it not?
Basically, you go past Boscobel House twice. Obviously, this is the world's most complex obstacle course race, and so you go past Boscobel House from the previous CP. You go to Boscobel House, which is also CP2, but prior to it becoming CP2, you then have to go and do this giant loop, which I'm just finishing off now in the right direction.
Oh, okay. So you don't get to stop at the CP until. Oh, okay.
Although to be fair to Lindley, I think, and also because he felt a bit sorry for me, given that I was trying hard in class. I'm sort of A for effort, sort of minus for performance, and the other guys are sort of plus for performance, but D for effort, really, on navigation.
You're basically the Rushmore of this race.
I don't think you should ever use the word rush with. It's just not appropriate. So actually, Lindley I dropped a few bags. I grabbed a bit of stuff. I grabbed some socks and swapped a few things over at Boscombe House, and had a bit of a moan because it's an ultra. So, at any given time that I see Lindley, he's either getting Smeagol or Gollum, and I think he got Gollum at that time. So hopefully I'll be a little bit nicer when I see him later on. Actually, I've got a pen with me. On my checklist for the CP, I'm going to add "be nice to people" to the bottom of my checklist.
So what's your plan then for the next section? Are you gonna sleep again at the checkpoint, or what? What are you doing?
I am. I am. Again, I'm going to get there for about 1. I need to be up and moving again by 5:30, so I'm going to bag 4.5 decent hours sleep in a tent, with 2 people looking after me. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep at the CP and move on again at 5 in the morning to finish the last 12 miles before the 10 a.m. I'm dealing with every day at a 10 a.m. cutoff, if that makes sense, because that's when the race started.
Right. Okay.
Hopefully that makes the most.
And so there's a couple more things I want to ask you before I let you go. So firstly, you've had some do-badders giving you encouragement today. How has that been? Has that been useful?
They're good, but they're not as good as I was for the MDS.
What? Not abusive enough? Is that what you're saying?
No, I properly dug into some things that some people are going to need therapy for, and all I get is, I'm having a beer and I've got my feet up. Have a nice day, and I'm like, come on, mate, you can do better than that. So yeah, some people have been good. I see we had some haiku, some poetry.
Yes, that's nice.
Yeah. So I'm trying to imagine doing some Monarch's Way haiku, but I think Monarch's Way haiku would just be random letters combined, wouldn't it?
It would.
It didn't make any sense at all.
And it wouldn't have the right amount of syllables either. And no one would really know how many syllables it should have.
No, some would argue it was 12 and others would say it was 17.
But the other thing, which I'm not sure you've noticed because it's only popped on Facebook in the last few minutes, is that Bruno has done a little bit of the Monarch's Way today. And
has he?
Yes, he has. He's run a little bit of the Monarch's Way today, and his conclusion, it goes, just recce part of the Monarch's Way course, and it's officially ridiculous. I only had to find a single waypoint, and the bridge I was stood on doesn't even exist on Google Maps. The path's extremely well marked, as well as you can see from the 10p coin-sized sticker on a gate. Lee, you are so fucked.
Yeah, I am. I've got to say, this is really hard, this race. I didn't think I was particularly good at navigation, but I can tell you, since February, when I've been doing these recce's, you get really good really fast, or you starve to death in the wild. But yeah, I'm not surprised, and the urban bits can be even worse,
Yeah.
Markings and stuff. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Also, most of Birmingham is miserable. Oh boy, it's just following canal paths and industrial estates and places where you can buy heroin.
Amazing. All right then, man. Well, good luck. Good luck with the rest of your time to get into the CP. You sound like again you're in all right spirits. We'll make sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we've got that secret thing where I text you for the 10 minutes a day where I'm smiling.
Yeah,
that's working really well actually. Because again, half an hour ago I was sort of, I don't want to do this, So it's been good. But what are your predictions for tomorrow? For the spine racers, I'm thinking jetpacks.
I don't know where they're going through. Wolverhampton, is it? They're going through Wolverhampton and
tomorrow. Well, I don't know. They probably set off now for CP5. They're complete mentalists.
I guess they're going to be running down the M6. I think probably, possibly.
I reckon they're going to do the coast to coast ultra, and then come back. So there you go. That was my day. I'm really hoping Tomorrow I don't have a headache. In theory, tomorrow should be a lot easier. It's predominantly Canal Pass and it's reasonably flat. So I'm quote unquote having an easier 50-mile day. So yeah, and really, yeah, just if I can get to checkpoint 3, it's more than most people managed last year.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well,
and if we're being positive, I'm a sixth of the way through already, Jody.
yes, you are. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I think there's a lot to celebrate there. I want to leave you with a single thought, which I'm sure will be enough to motivate you. But the bad boy running a historian, Robertson, he is doing his best to try and interest Mike Bushell in this story. So there's a good possibility that if you make it halfway through and past these other guys and stuff, you may get to see Bushell's best bits.
Right. That sounds so dodgy, doesn't it? Cool.
Well, let me leave you that thought. That's something to dream about when you're with your fitful sleep in CP2.
Yeah, I'll have a nightmare about.
All right then, man. Good luck.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.